Hello, welcome to Sound and Fury Book Reviews. As usual, I am Tina. Today I'm doing a book review of Accidental Intelligence by Bryan Chaffin. This is a book that came out in 2023. It's a sci-fi, it's self-published. I received this book from the SPSFC4, where I am a judge. A fast-paced detective story set in the future, Accidental Intelligence approaches AI advancements in an interesting and realistic way. What is it about? Private Detective Mason Truman is being yanked around by invisible strings, and it's an AI doing the yanking. Miranda. She's subtle, crazy, and she thinks she can see the future. It's enough to drive Mason nuts. Miranda believes her fellow AIs are up to some kind of grand conspiracy against the Terran Republic, and she wants Mason's help proving it. Conspiracies are above Mason's pay grade, though, the kind of time sink that can put a crimp in more serious pursuits, like drinking coffee and staying alive. But Miranda won't take no for an answer. Mason can help, and Miranda will make sure he becomes intimately acquainted with the finer conversational techniques of the secret police. So Mason digs until he uncovers a cache of stolen communications between a cabal of rogue AIs. They're planning on what they call Eschaton, I can't pronounce that, the divinely ordained end of humanity. Unless Mason and Miranda stop the arrogant pricks, the conspirators will destroy Earth. This blurb is awesome. Mason and Miranda have one chance, a way of bottling up the rogue AIs. All Mason has to do is lure the conspirators to the right spot in the sim world. That's how Mason learns that when Miranda said she needed help, what she meant was bait. I'm really into this blurb. The world building in this novel is really well developed. It feels realistic for the most part and is more a near-future Earth story than one of, say, space exploration. One of the best things are the little epigraphs at the start of the chapters from, history. This helped to broaden the world building and give you kind of a historical depth to it. If you love stories that feature scenes set inside virtual worlds, you will like this. In terms of characters, Mason is likable and easy to root for. He's a bit of a noir cop, but doesn't take it too far to become an archetype. He's a former teacher, which was really interesting. I've never seen it before. And his love of coffee, I can totally get behind. He spends most of the book trying to find a good cup. Sam, his AI helper, was my favorite character because she was snarky and she was fun. The writing is really solid. There's no typos. It's easy flowing sentences and really fun dialogue. It's really well written. Now, personally, and sorry to the author about the luck of the draw here for the competition, and, I didn't deduct points because of this, but aside from a few exceptions, namely classics like Neuromancer and Snow Crash, I find scenes within video games to be kind of boring in books, namely because there's no real threat to the character's life. The book Thrill Switch, I can't ever say it, from last year's SPSFC, had that all changed up as deaths in the game caused deaths out of the game. That was a really cool premise, but that doesn't happen in this case. So for me, whenever in-game kind of occurred, I kind of found my attention drifting a bit because I was like, okay. I found the middle of the book also lagged for me with extraneous stuff that could have been trimmed. In truth, this happens a lot when I read self-published anything. While I'm sure the editors suggested trimming certain parts, most writers I know personally, at least, are resistant to doing so, which I totally get. I'm a writer too. I've had my editor and I've had my mentor be like, you should cut this scene, it sucks, or this scene isn't really helpful to the plot, and I'm just like, but I love it. I suggest to steal something from Stephen King, kill your darlings. It sucks. But you know what? You can always repurpose them. You can necromance them back into another book. I will say the book is fun. I really liked it. I thought the mystery was cool. I thought the AI approach was really interesting. One thing that irked me though, and again, I'm not counting this in my rating for the competition as is a personal thing. My channel followers will likely know what's coming, but there was a lot of androcentrism in the book, more than I expected for something that was set in the future. I'd say 80% of the characters were men, including most of the AIs, and there was my dreaded word, mankind, used a few times. It's humankind, guys. It's 2025. The book wasn't egregious to women in any way, though, and the women characters weren't treated as set pieces or objects, but for the future, it seems we kind of stalled out on progress, like women in the military, for example. Oh well. Overall, though, a very fun detective story that raises interesting questions about AI sentience and our future as AI becomes more and more integrated into our world. Unless, of course, the servers used to house the AI destroy the planet. In my mind, that's more likely than anything. As a reminder to everybody, as a PSA, every time you use ChatGPT or make a stupid meme using an AI bot, you are dumping 16 ounces of water just directly down the drain. Also, if you type -AI after a search in Google, you can actually stop Google from using its AI because 90% of the time or something, that AI is incorrect. So don't use it. I was where was I? I was Instagram or something, and someone was saying how they use AI for all their fact checking, and I'm like, AI is not a good fact checker because, most of it's just aggregate data that isn't correct. It's just like the most commonly typed thing. It's not a good research tool. And yeah, but I mean, and as an editor, I've been coming across more and more kind of incorrect fact stuff as I'm editing, because I'm like, people are using AI thinking it's real, and I'm like, it's not real data. So anyway, I'm going on a rant about this. I could go on a rant about this for years. I will stop. Um, Anyway, I do think this is a really fun book. I think it's got a really great premise, and I really liked the characters. Yeah, so thank you again to the competition for providing the ebook.